Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey guys, this is Maureen.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Jeanette.
I'm Tiffany.
And today we are talking Bridgerton episodes 5 and 6. I almost did 5 and 6. That
was wrong.
We are continuing with our recaps of the absolutely fabulous Bridgerton show with all of its color and light and sound. I hope most of your shows have sound, but this one has fun sound. I'm really getting weird with this here. I'm not trying to be. But this episode, we see the wedding preparations. Because, remember we left off, Anthony stupidly proposes to Edwina, and nobody but Edwina, or everybody but Edwina, sees a problem with that.
Apparently, they're meeting with the Queen, and the Queen is going to host this wedding.
Because it's her diamond.
Yes. And she's got, of course, ulterior motives, with
obviously
wanting to try to catch Lady Whistledown. We were just talking. I love that scene when, well, first, of course, Kate is remembering all of her moments with Anthony as he's walking into the hall. And then the little pinky, like where their pinkies just stretch out to almost touch each other. I was like, oh, gosh,
I love that.
And I love that when she walks in the room behind Anthony, he bends over to kiss Edwina's hand, and Kate is very obviously hot bothered, and Lady Danbury just turns around and stares at her and gives her a very knowing look.
Yeah.
That's what you get for Lady Danbury.
Yeah, she knows.
I thought she would pick up on it
sooner.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was our complaint the last podcast.
Yeah. That kind of irritated me because last season she was so like all knowing and she knew everything, and this season she's like, what's going on?
And in the books too, didn't she know earlier in the books?
Yeah.
I think
well,
so.
I mean, the books are so different.
Everyone knew. And I mean, they were together by halfway through the book, so
That's right.
Yeah.
I just love any opportunity to see more of the Queen though.
She's just such a fun character.
Yeah. She is.
The scene that I loved is that jeweler, which cracked me up, especially because he, with his cakes, he was
that lemon cake.
Like, he has her make her like a whole spread, and I even her like, I don't know these names of what these people are. The person that goes and gets it for her, the person that works there. I don't know, like
servant?
Because it was a man, so I don't know. Is he a valet? But that's for men.
Valet would be the dresser. That would have been a butler.
Okay, so the butler, he kind of gives her that look like, is he serious?
He's like, there's some sandwiches in there too.
Yeah, two sandwiches. I was like, my gosh, does he not eat at home?
It looks like he's wasting away, personally.
Right?
But then he so stupidly, do you all wear the same gloves? And she's like, yeah, why?
I love Anthony's face when he starts asking that question.
I mean, she's got to try on this engagement ring. I mean, oh my gosh, how awkward. And then, of course, though, when he puts it on, their hands linger just like they always do. Like, oh, so frustrating to watch, to be honest with you. But we know it ends well. So
I love when she couldn't get it off
I was just gonna say, I like when Edwina comes in and the ring is on Kate's finger.
I was just trying it on again. How does she not see that? Doesn't look suspicious.
I mean, in their defense, though, this one was not their fault. The jeweler insisted, but still.
Yeah, but if she was completely innocent, she would not have reacted that way.
Exactly. No. I mean, that reaction was more obvious than anything else.
Yes. But it also gives, Kate and Anthony a chance to discuss what happened at Aubrey Hall and all of that stuff. Which I want to know how they have these conversations in the room with other people and no one like hears or notices it.
I know. Right? This drives me insane.
Like, it's not like they're whispering either. Like, I don't know. It cracks me up.
They just, apparently people just can, I would say keep their mouth closed, but nobody in this show keeps their mouth closed to each other. So I don't know.
I mean, it's all about gossip, And then I love their promenade that they go on, and
Mr. Dorset.
Kate tried to not even go, but Lady Danbury was like, no, you're going to come with me. And so she's telling her that, which I was so angry with Lady Danbury. I mean, I get her position and saying like, you've got to chill, like they're engaged now, but I don't know. The Lady Danbury from season 1 was so like pro love, and like
Yeah.
it just seemed different to me. And I don't know.
It did. Yeah. Like I said earlier, Lady Danbury's she seems so different this season than last season.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing
I
is,
liked
too,
her a
that
lot
with
better.
Simon last season, she knew Simon intimately, so she could tell
True.
what he was feeling and thinking, and she wanted him to have love because that was like her son, basically.
Right.
That
And I
could
guess
be.
now that the queen is involved too, I mean, I guess it does make a difference, because you can't really just, I mean, here she is planning a wedding for you all, and I don't know.
And that would be, and clearly, I mean, if we see that there are, I mean, the queen is not going to give up on Lady Danbury because Lady Danbury is the one who introduced her to them. So,
Right.
we all know that Kate ends up with Anthony. You have to assume that Lady Danbury is going to have some issues down the road if it's her person that she's sponsoring and the queen's diamond and it doesn't work out.
Mhm.
That's to reflect poorly on Lady Danbury.
Yeah, that's true.
But I am annoyed that her intuition seems to be absent this season.
Yeah. I liked that about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Mr. Dorset's back, which I do like Mr. Dorset.
I do too.
He's no Anthony, but I
No,
like him.
but his conversation was pleasant and he was kind and he was charming.
Yeah.
And they were getting along. I think had Anthony not been in the picture, it would have been a really good match, I think, so.
Yeah. And he was I think he was genuinely interested in her.
I think so too. Anthony's face though.
Again, how does we not notice this?
Violet notices though.
Because at least Violet, Violet is noticing now. She's like, wait a minute, why
Violet
is he looking at
knew.
her?
Remember, it was her and Daphne who exchanged that look when he proposed to Edwina.
Yeah.
Violet's already watching for him.
But I don't
Mama
think Violet didn't fully know exactly what was
she
going
suspected,
on.
I think.
Mhm.
But now she knows because dude was not subtle.
No, I mean, he was like staring, like when Edwina's like having a conversation, he's like just staring at Kate.
Almost angrily, but passionately.
Yes. And then of course, I mean, I don't know. When they get done with their boat ride, I mean, he's got to walk over there and talk about the knot, that he doesn't know how to properly tie a knot. Like, Anthony, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just a way. I mean, it was just so.
He had no business being down there. And then he had no business doing anything with the boat.
No.
He's with her sister, not her.
Yes.
And then he had Dorset got on the boat, and it was Anthony who shoved him aside basically to give his hand. But
Again, how's nobody seeing this?
I mean, what more does he have to do to get somebody to notice how much in love with Kate he is?
I don't think he even really
short of
realized
tearing off her clothes in public. And even then, I'm not sure people would get it.
Edwina still wouldn't get it, I don't think. Like,
No.
Oh no, Kate's clothes fell off. Anthony is helping her.
I feel like that's what she'd think, Oh my goodness. Mess.
To be fair, I do like the girl who plays Edwina. And it's not
I do
her
too.
fault. Her character's stupid.
No.
They wrote her that way.
In the book, she was so much better. I'm sorry.
And I mean, to be fair, Edwina does ask later on in these episodes, have I always been this blind?
Mhm.
Have I always been this stupid? Yes. Yes, you have.
Mhm.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I
then
mean, all of this though,
Go ahead.
it leads to like probably my favorite scene though.
That's what I was just about to say.
Again, it involves Newton, so you get a
And
little more Newton in
yes,
there.
'cause
Okay.
I love him.
I do want to add in here that when I watched today for the second time, that's when I noticed the dog. I didn't even notice the dog the first time.
What did you think he
Dog, what
tripped over the
dog?
first time?
I don't know.
She wasn't
I-
concerned.
I was more concerned of
Yeah.
hoping he'd fall into the water and get wet, which he did. And I was pleased about. That's where my mind was.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Today I saw the dog. I was like, oh,
That's
So
what
then-
happened.
I think that was kind of their take. We're like, when we were talking about episodes 1 and 2, we kind of discussed that we didn't get like the chase through London.
Yeah.
I think that's the same.
I think this is their take on it because he was supposed to like get all wet and everything because of Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think they just did it differently. So
Yeah.
I
This was
kind of
good.
forgot about that.
And I don't think anybody's complaining about it.
No, I was
No.
perfectly fine with the way this played out.
No, it made a
I
lot
like
of
the
good
way Bandit
pictures.
just had
That
to take a
one-
deep breath.
That difference I'm okay with.
Same.
I'd much rather him fall into the lake than a puddle.
Yeah, I mean, he falls into this, and then of course I don't know, it's so dramatic, not complaining about it all, but it's so dramatic when he comes out and he's just like tearing off things and like, I mean,
You look at Dorset behind him and he's not taking off any pieces of clothing.
no,
He's actually
like, what are you
laughing about
doing?
it. He's like, they're like,
Again.
are you okay? And Dorsey's like, yeah, this is great. This is fun. And he's just leaving all of his clothes on and walking around.
But Edwina's, she's staring, which I think that part kind of shocked me, I think, because I mean, I think we've seen her like him, but I don't think we've really talked about like her being attracted to him. So obviously,
You
which I
have to
mean,
remember that at that time too, women didn't see men without all of their layers on.
Yeah.
that's true.
So this anyone would have stopped and stared because it would have been scandalous that you're seeing through his white shirt and you're seeing his whole body.
Mhm.
But I like that Kate stared longer than anybody else. And who did not notice?
No, Edwina noticed. She
She
didn't
noticed,
understand
but
it,
she like did,
which is weird because you were just doing the same thing. You can't put that together.
maybe she thought exactly what you were saying. Like, she's just noticing that there's a male
Maybe.
form, like
Who wouldn't look?
exactly.
And it's right after Kate chastises her. Edwina, it's not polite to stare. Don't do that. And she, not only is she staring, but she's smirking as she's staring at him.
Mm-hmm. But Violet noticed all of the like his angry staring at Kate. So I mean, she's tries to have the conversation to say like, "Are you sure about your decision? Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And of course, Anthony's just kind of blows off the whole conversation, like no, that's what I'm doing. Mama tried, and he didn't listen.
But she failed.
But I mean, I think he's at that point. He's Edwina can't back. I can't back out because it would be
Her
scandalous
reputation
or whatever. But like
Because
Violet said, Edwina could.
Yeah, because if a man backed out, he would say something deficient about the woman who is fully dependent on a marriage to survive. But if a woman backed out, then the man could just, it's such a dumb thing.
Yes.
No repercussions whatsoever for the man. None.
But we also got to, so I guess the Sheffields find out about the engagement. And so they're coming to the engagement dinner, which is really entertaining.
We need to review what you revealed to us last week, by the way. That blew our
What?
minds.
Hmm?
Mr. Sheffield is?
Oh, Giles. Amanda, did you notice this?
What?
Did we talk about this with you? Giles.
Mm-mm.
From
Giles
Buffy.
who?
Did you watch Buffy?
Buffy,
I didn't watch all of Buffy.
Oh.
Did you know who Giles was, like her instructor?
the English guy,
Yeah.
He's Mr. Sheffield.
Mr. Sheffield.
Mr. Sheffield.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
Why am I the only one?
I
that
would have
noticed
never
it?
noticed.
Like I should have noticed because I watched every single episode of Buffy multiple times and I did not pick up on it.
It was, I was like still a little bit too young, like
I
for like the
forget Amanda's
Buffy.
so young.
She's in my head, she's exactly our age.
I know, me too.
I'm just
She's
an old
not. She's a
soul.
baby. Yeah.
All right, so now we got that on our system that Giles is Mr. Sheffield.
It's a very awkward dinner.
That's an understatement.
It's a big understatement.
It started out kind
Fair.
of well.
It
I mean,
did.
Kate
It
did
was
try
really-
and tell Edwina about everything
She did.
beforehand. They got interrupted, so she never got
Mhm.
the chance to.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it started off well either.
Well,
We
started
completely
off
ignored Kate
well-ish.
and Mary. Like
Yeah.
completely. And went right to Edwina and made
True.
the biggest fuss over her.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Blatantly ignoring the other two.
yeah.
I did not
More
like
Kate
Mrs.
than
Sheffield at all.
even Mary.
Mhm.
That was uncomfortable and sad.
Yeah, they're trying to have a nice, pleasant dinner, and Mrs. Sheffield's just digging into Mary
I mean, just,
repeatedly.
wow.
Even after multiple people have said, "This is a dinner conversation."
Mhm.
Even her husband
Talk
tried
about
to
Yeah.
like.
Exactly.
curb the
Multiple times he
conversation.
tried.
Mhm.
She holds herself so far above the company, but does
Mhm.
something so uncouth and something that's so low class in the middle of that
Yeah.
dinner.
Yep.
And it's her own family. So at that time, that would have reflected on you. All the things you're throwing at her are being thrown right back at you. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe she hates herself. I mean, I would if I were her.
I mean, yeah. She's pretty terrible.
It explains a lot to know, why Mary left and never
Mhm.
went back.
Mm-hmm.
It surprises me that, I mean, it doesn't really surprise me per se, but Mary turned out to be a lot different than her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I
She
think
got out
that's,
of it.
yeah, I think that's because her mom was like her mom is. And she's like, I'm not going to be like that. She broke the cycle, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing was sad. This engagement dinner, it was so uncomfortable for me to watch the entire time.
Oh my
I just
god.
felt
And
so
watch
bad for
the-
Mary.
Watch the varying degrees of shock and pain come on their faces. Like, and
Yes.
Edwina just looked like so confused. So
Which
confused.
she was. I mean, she
Mhm.
had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, and she thought that, but I mean, even before the inheritance, like she thought that she didn't really fully understand the discrepancies there. She didn't
Mhm.
understand why she had a relationship with her grandparents. She was just glad to have it. And the way they fused over her, it just kind of seemed like, oh, it was just a fluke. We were just in different
Yeah.
countries, and that's why we didn't get together. So for them to start attacking her mom, she really didn't get it
Mhm.
because her mom never shared that side of him with her,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which says something to Mary's character.
Yeah.
That she never bad talked her parents or her family to anybody,
No.
even after they did what they did.
But I was also really happy about Anthony. I mean, like this was like, even though like, I mean, obviously he's finding out about this inheritance. He's feeling like he's been like misled and being used here, but he still like stands up for them and like defends them. And I mean, that shows his character a lot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I was
And
wondering
how-
who was going to stop it. I'm
Mhm.
glad it was
Mhm.
Anthony though.
And
Yeah.
how surprised and shocked the Sheffields were that someone would dare to kick them out.
Yeah. He was like, go on. I mean, not only are we going to stop talking about this, but you can leave,
Yep.
which was pretty shocking.
That was
you
like
can
one of my
wait
favorite
outside.
endings.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like, call for their carriage and you all can wait for it out there. Like, you can't even wait inside here. Just get out.
I really like seeing that side of Anthony personally.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me
That to
too.
me was more attractive than the lake scene.
I don't know if it's more attractive,
For me, it was.
I mean,
but it was equally attractive.
just put it together.
You know, equally
I think they
attractive.
did.
Yeah, after the Sheffields leave, Anthony and Violet get up to leave as well.
Mhm.
And of course, Kate goes after him to try and explain, Edwina had no idea about any of that.
Yeah.
Nothing that was going on was she behind.
Which was so unfair.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated that.
I did too.
Yeah.
She really
I'm like
should.
it, and that is actually the one time I did agree with Edwina in this season was when she's like, I'm getting married. I'm grown.
Yeah.
Like I should know this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see
I
Kate's
get
point
it.
of view though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Edwina isn't the Edwina from the book. Yes, I think could have understood this information. The Edwina on this show, she was not, and she was grown physically, but mentally, she was not grown enough for that information.
Yeah.
Well, she needs to grow up at one
She
point.
does, but I think that she wasn't, and she was 100% solely dependent on Kate, and Kate was wholly dependent or wholly focused on her happiness rather than her duty. I mean, yeah, I think she probably should have had that information, but I get why she didn't share it with her. Because
Mhm.
I don't think clearly this woman misses things.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think she's right. And
What
then
did she miss?
I do. Right. Nothing big. No, I mean, I think Kate was right in that. I mean, Edwina, even though she's very naive, I do think that I mean, obviously she loves her sister, she loves her family. So I do think she would have just taken the first offer that was given to her to like help them out. And I don't know, Kate didn't want it, but I still think at some point it should have been shared. I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
agree. And I mean, she was going to before this, a little too
Mhm.
late, but
Yeah, I think before the
before the engagement.
party, it should
Yeah.
have been shared.
Yeah.
Mm.
and honestly, for Anthony, like I get why Anthony felt misled, but I don't get why it upset him because he wasn't looking for a real relationship, and this wasn't going to harm him.
Yeah, he didn't need the dowry.
Yeah, this was
I
just
think
putting more money there.
I think it's more of, I mean, we see like in this conversation here with Kate, it's more of this is his excuse. This is his way out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
of
Oh,
not
I
marrying
agree with
Edwin,
that. Yeah.
So
But
I don't think he
Violet
was
and
that
Violet and
upset
Anthony
anyways.
both, like even Violet was upset by it, and we'll see that later on when we talk about the wedding. But
I think I understand why Violet was upset because she, I mean, that's probably Mama Bear being protective.
I get that.
of-
But this is what
Yeah.
Anthony wanted. He wanted, he said over and over again, he does not want love. He does not want love. He does
Yeah.
not want love. And he got exactly what he wanted in choosing this woman.
Yeah.
And Violet knew that he didn't love her, and she knew that this is, I mean, so it, I don't know, that's just how things were done then.
Yeah.
I think Violet was also upset with Lady Danbury
She was,
more
Mhm.
because they're friends. They have a special connection, a special friendship.
Mhm.
She was not truthful with her. She should have been honest with her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is that like it wasn't Lady Danbury's thing too.
Exactly.
So there's
Yeah.
that balance of when is it my secret to tell you?
I mean, I
So
agree.
Anthony wants to call off the wedding, of course, and then Kate tells him that she wants to go back to India.
This
Did
is
you
my-
write down the quote?
That
I
would
have it right-
not.
I have it right here.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna say it's not here.
That's-
Mm.
Not a
and
fan
this right
of.
here is my favorite line from the show. I'm going to read it to you all.
This
Okay.
is Anthony's response to Kate at that
Anthony
point.
says, well, first he says that will not, I don't have the beginning of this. I think he says that will not be far enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he says, do you think there is a corner of this earth that you could travel to far enough away to free me from this torment? I am a gentleman. My father raised me to act with honor, but that honor is hanging by a thread that grows more precarious with every moment I spend in your presence. You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires. I melted in that moment.
I'm sorry. That right there is confessing his love to her.
Yes.
In
Hold
my
on,
eyes, that was him confessing his love to her.
Mhm.
But we're not even done.
Mm.
Night
get
and day,
so
I
worked
dream of you. And then Maureen Price doesn't like this part. And he says, and of course he breathes that crazy breath that he takes, right? And he says, do you even know all the ways a lady can be seduced? And something that ends there, but something about all the things I could teach you. That threw I burn for you out the window. Like,
Yes.
I don't want anyone to burn for me. I want to be the bane of their existence. Like, this is so much better.
Like, how is that not like an eye opener to both of them when he says that? Like, how?
I think it is though, but I think that they don't see a way out.
Just move to
Because
India, both of you. Just run off and be
Overall,
together.
yeah, but then Edwina would be suffering because then she would have been jilted at the altar, and then her reputation would have been ruined, and no one would have had her.
I'm not worried about her at this point.
But Kate is.
I know.
Kate loves her sister.
I know.
You don't, but Kate does.
I do actually love Edwina. Both
And
Edwina.
because Anthony loves Kate, and Anthony knew he loved Kate because Daphne put it out to him in the last episode.
Yeah.
And that's why he decided to marry Edwina, because he realized, oh crap, I love Kate.
Yeah.
So because he loves Kate, he wouldn't hurt Edwina because it would hurt Kate. That was a good speech though.
Mm.
But didn't Kate say something, or she just stand there like hyperventilating?
She's standing there hyperventilating. Like,
What would you say?
I don't know, but I thought
I
she
would
said
have
something.
no words. None.
You would
Because
just stand there and
they were
breathe.
close to kissing and they heard a sound and he
Mm.
walked
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
That was also,
Yeah.
they were close to kissing again. The door is wide
I
open.
know.
Like, wide open.
They
Anyone
have
can walk
zero
by.
control.
No.
Zero control.
No control.
I don't blame them.
I mean, I don't either, but
Oh no, he doesn't just walk out then. He tells her that because she says you're engaged to my sister, and he says he can't marry her because
that's all right.
the
Would
whole
always
time they're
think-
married, he would always want her sister.
Mm.
Let me tell you, I was like mad.
The
at this
slow
scene.
burn
Like,
in this season
"Ah."
just irritated me for some
Mhm.
reason.
But I loved it too. Like,
I
it
know.
was-
It was a good bad.
yeah.
Like, I wanted to rush it, but then I liked the slow burn as well. I had
Mhm.
m-
I think it's
very
partly
mixed
because
emotions.
in the book they get together sooner, but also with Daphne and Simon's season, we still got more episodes of them together as married couple.
Yes.
Yes.
As starting their life together. And this one we didn't get that until almost basically the end.
But at least with this, like, I think we've said that, at least with this, like in future seasons, Kate and Anthony will still
Exactly.
be, and Anthony, I gotta get that right.
We think.
Kate and Anthony, they will, because I mean, like, I think Simone's already confirmed that, but also like they're present in so many of the books, whereas
Mhm.
Simon's like in one scene in the other
Yeah.
books. That's it. I
And
mean,
the
they're the
scenes that
head
he
of the
is
Bridgerton
present in
family.
outside of that. He's just, they mentioned that he's there. He doesn't actually have any lines. He doesn't say anything
Right.
in the books, nothing. But
Yeah.
they just say he's there because Daphne's there.
Well, because he's like the Duke, he's his own, like they are the head of the Bridgerton family. So
Mhm.
you can't continue the Bridgerton stories without the head of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So I
true.
think they'll be around.
Oh, Kate and Edwina have a little chat together.
Mm,
Edwina tells her that she loves Anthony.
To be fair, after the way he defended her, I think I would be in love
That's
with him too.
Okay, that's
I
true.
think that's all it was that one thing.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
yeah. I mean, he showed he's a good dude. I mean, so I'd be in love too. I was already in love before that, so I mean, that would have just sealed the deal.
And that's why Kate meets with Anthony to convince him to marry her still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that had to be painful for him. After he just admitted everything he admitted to her, having her come over and beg him to marry her sister.
They're ballsy though. Like meeting, how they kept meeting. I'm like, how do they not get caught?
I don't
Never.
know. Or even when people see him, nobody notices what's happening, so it doesn't really matter apparently.
true.
No. And maybe it's because, well, he's getting married to her sister, so there wouldn't be anything untoward. But still, I mean, that would have been enough to ruin a reputation in reality.
Mhm.
Yeah. They should have gotten caught together.
Well, I mean, that's what happens in
Oh,
the
that's
book.
what they did.
I know.
Each book.
Before we talk about the wedding, we have to talk about the other big engagement of the season.
Oh,
Cousin Jack.
cousin Jack.
Jack and Prudence. Match made in
Cousin
heaven.
Jack, cousin Jack.
I have to say, I just love Prudence so much. I love that we had such
So
a
funny.
focus on her in this season. It was amazing.
There's one scene, and it
I-
doesn't. There's like
I want to see
no.
if you're going to say the same thing I was going to say. Go
There,
ahead.
there's nothing really to do with anything other than when they're out in the lake, and they're in the boat, and she's like, "Look at me." That's it. I mean, but it was just so like. I just
Okay,
think it's
so
funny.
my favorite one, actually my favorite two, and she was doing the same thing, is when the gold statue was moving and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
just standing
That
there
one too.
trying to
Yes.
mimic its moves, and you see her doing it in multiple scenes.
Yep.
So
Yep. I bet that actress is so funny. I would love to chat with
I
her.
want her on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Me too.
Agreed.
She had me laughing so
Mhm.
hard.
We even talked about this last week because in the last episode, when she was at the Aubrey Hall and she won the game, she was like, I won. And then she just screamed, "Look at me!" And then started doing this with her shirt after she did it.
Well, I think she's pretty jealous that
Mhm.
Edwina
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anthony are getting all the talk, and her and cousin Jack are not the talk of the town.
Cousin Jack.
Oh,
It reminds me a bit of Monica on Friends. You know, like when Monica gets engaged and she goes out on the balcony, I'm engaged. It's exactly what it reminded me of.
And then when they're in the promenade, or down by the river, I don't really know if that's for the promenade, but when they were all down by the river together, and Jack is talking to, was it Will? Right?
Yes.
The gentleman's club.
yeah, yeah.
Portia pulls him aside, and she's like, "This is about how to fix our finances. You won't down there." And his response is, "Well, we're not going to fix them by running up bills at the modiste
Mhm.
either."
I actually kind of like cousin Jack.
I do
think said
too.
this
I
last time,
really like
too.
him.
I didn't dislike him. I liked him better than Portia.
I actually
like
love Portia though.
too.
I've always loved Portia.
I don't hate her. She's not one of my
Oh,
favorites, but I don't
amuses
hate
me.
her.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. She makes me laugh.
Mhm.
She
In
does
the
make me
books,
laugh.
I don't like Portia in the
No.
books at all.
No.
But Portia in the show, I love Portia in the show.
Yeah. I mean, that's Polly
Yeah.
Walker. I mean, she's just
Mhm.
too like, yeah, the way she
Yes.
portrays it is just so
Mhm.
good.
It's
And-
perfect.
I kind of like her. I mean, it was weird because he was engaged to her daughter,
No,
but I,
I
like
was
the
totally
Portia
gonna.
cousin Jack vibes.
I was gonna say that too.
I
was
know.
so shipping them. I was like, oh, I love this. Let's do it.
Mhm.
Oh well.
She needs a young virile man rather than the old crony dummy that
Yeah.
she had before.
Well, I
Yep.
mean, and he's obviously agreeing because he's flirting with her, and
Mhm.
he's like
Yeah.
saying,
He's
things-
instigating the flirting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get
And
it,
she
Portia.
doesn't know what to do. I mean, but I don't know. I was
Well,
there.
I think they're pretty similar too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're scheming together
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
But I think that Portia has more, like her scheming is more, because his plan wasn't to con everybody at the town.
Yeah.
That was all Portia. He wanted to come by it by marrying somebody of wealth. That's how he wanted to come by the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Portia is more desperate because she has her kids at stake, and he's just kind of like, well,
Yeah.
we need money, so I'm gonna try to get it this way. But
Yeah.
she's desperate for it because it's her kids' livelihood and her livelihood.
I think his way was a lot smarter.
Mhm.
It was.
Even if he married into money, he would have helped his family.
Yeah, that was
And I
what he was
wonder-
going to do.
I wonder why
So
he didn't tell her, because I feel like if he had told her, she would have like tried to help him. Like, yeah, let's make that happen. Like,
yeah.
but I wish he had
Well, he
told
didn't
her.
know her, so he didn't really know if he could trust her. So he was just trying
Yeah.
to do what he did. And then it was after, and provably he couldn't trust her very well because she cornered him into marrying her daughter. So
But I mean, what could she have done to him? I mean, like him being successful at this, I mean, she was dependent on that. So she would have
Mhm.
went along with whatever, I think.
So Portia comes up with this scheme to get people to invest in the mines.
I forgot we didn't discuss that yet. I was thinking think everybody knew already because we watched it.
Okay.
No, we haven't.
All we know is that his minds are empty.
She has this jeweler, which, by the way, this guy cracked me up too.
He wanted more sandwiches. It was the same guy.
He
He was asking for more sandwiches.
I love this guy. All he does is go house to house and eat all day.
I'm like, can I buy some
What a
jewelry? I'll
job.
Pay you in sandwiches? Like this sounds
Jewelry
great.
and food.
Yeah.
Sandwiches and lemon cake. But he does not even, he doesn't notice that they're fake,
No,
which shocked me.
I guess they're good fakes, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, but I was
He
like, come
probably
on,
should
dude.
have noticed, but
I think cousin Jack was a little bit concerned about her plan.
He
mhm,
freaked out when he
But-
walked in there and she had the jeweler looking at it.
yes.
He's like, oh God. Which, I mean, I think I would have been scared of that too, because it is kind of the come to truth moment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Will it pass? Because I'm sure if they're going to, she's thinking if they're going to sell them, that this jeweler will probably see them. If the
Yeah.
jeweler sees them,
Yeah.
he'll be able to know if they're fake or not. So
It was a
or
smart
she's pretty
thing.
smart. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not stupid.
And plus, like, if she can get, if one jeweler says that they're real, then the other people who might be like, well, I'm going to have these checked out by somebody, no matter what jeweler they took it to, the conclusion could be that maybe no one could really tell them apart. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
even those
She'd
people who
be
are
like,
trying to
"I
get
got
invested in
'em checked."
mines, yeah. But even if those people who are wanting to invest in the mines want to get it checked by a different jeweler, the assumption could be made that no one's going to find they're fake because I already had them checked out by a jeweler and he didn't notice they were fake.
Yeah. I mean, and if it comes back on her, she's like, I got them checked.
Yeah, dude
The
told me they
jeweler
were
said
real.
they're real. What'd you expect? I did my due diligence.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to her, but she wants to show it off and try to get to selling them to earn some money.
Mhm.
Go, Portia.
Kind of a brilliant plan.
Mhm.
Yeah, except she tries to rip off our least favorite Bridgerton, but
Well, she actually
Like
says they're off
Bridgerton.
limits.
Yes, she says.
oh,
the
she did. That's
Mhm.
right. She did.
Colin's
just-
about as dumb as Edwina.
And
That
his
keeps
instincts
pushing
are all
the
wrong.
issue.
Colin's instincts are all wrong.
I
all
know.
wrong. Yeah.
I can't wait for his season. I want to see how they play it out.
Yeah, we got to get him redeemed because I don't care for him too much. But man.
Yeah. So while the other Featheringtons are so busy trying to figure out their latest scheme, Penn is working so hard to make sure Eloise or anyone else doesn't figure out that she is Lady Whistledown.
And obviously working hard.
Obviously. I don't know when she does all this.
No, she just, this whole season almost, she's been running around in like a panic.
Yes.
I know.
The whole season. And I liked
Poor girl.
calm, cool, collected Penn, who was confident what she was doing, but this whole season, she's just frantic.
Mhm.
Chill out, girl.
Do you think the queen will ever find out who she is? Well, I know
No.
she'll find out eventually.
Well, I don't know.
I think she would just try to sway Penelope's way of writing into her favor.
I think she'd want to punish
you?
her a bit first.
Do you think
Because
so?
this season, she came at the queen directly.
She really did, didn't she?
Mhm. She outright taunted the queen. In the first one she wrote, she said, "Your move, your majesty." Like, wow, that's ballsy.
I love Penn.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think if the queen never found out it was Penn, that she would punish her a bit first. But even she's not the only one that's hiding stuff, because like even Eloise, Violet
Mhm.
asked her to help with the wedding stuff. She says she's going to a flower arranging lecture with Penn, and Violet's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like an Eloise thing to do. Yeah, sure, go."
yeah, what?
What?
When would Eloise ever voluntarily go learn
Yes,
to arrange flowers?
even if that's what you want to happen so bad, you should know your daughter well enough to be highly suspicious of this instead of excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
But maybe she's so caught up in the wedding stuff that she's off her game a bit because she knows her kids well. And what she's actually going to is a women's assembly. And I love that the look on Theo's face when she sees him. He's like, "What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?" Because didn't she find out about it from that pamphlet that he showed her
Yes.
when she accosted him? So he
Yes.
expected never to see her again. And then she just showed up there. And I like that she was, part of it was like, "Why? Because I'm interested in learning? Because I'm a woman?" And he's like, "Well, I'm here at this thing here. So maybe not that." But I love that's what Eloise always jumps to, because that's what she's used to.
Yeah.
But he's clearly at the same women's assembly as you are,
Yes.
Eloise. He
Yes, and
clearly doesn't have a
honestly-
problem with progressive women.
Mhm.
I wager to say he's for them.
Go Theo. Go Theo.
He's a good looking guy though.
He
really
I really
is.
like Theo.
I do too. I don't like him. I don't know if I like him with Eloise. I just liked him in general. I thought he was a
Yeah.
fun character and he was attractive.
Yeah. I mean, they also
seem
like
to
last
have
season
such
with
good chemistry.
yeah.
They do, yeah.
Last season with I'm trying to think of her name. What was Anthony's fling?
Oh, he
you think
burned
it's
her
Sophie,
pamphlet.
but it's not
Sienna.
Sophie.
No,
Deanna.
Sienna.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he might be like a Sienna, kind of like a
maybe.
little side character where you think
Yeah.
there might be something coming, but then kind of just goes off.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you all know, side note, I just read this today, that Sienna was actually based off a character in Anthony's book. And I didn't realize this till now.
Who?
Do you remember Maria? I'm pretty sure she's like an opera singer. It's the
Oh,
girl
yeah,
that he's
yep.
in the
Yes.
study with.
Because Kate
When
is
Kate's
in the study when
under
yep,
the desk.
okay, yep.
One of my favorite scenes too that like just gets cut out because it's so funny.
I wonder why they changed her name. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't realize.
know.
Didn't even realize that. Didn't even ring a bell.
Me neither.
Mm-mm.
But I like that Colin, and I wonder if part of him told Penn this because he was suspicious, but he told Penn that Eloise said she was going to do a flower arranging lecture with him. And obviously she's upset that Eloise lied to her and blew her
Yeah.
off.
Totally blows her off to go do something different.
And that's when
Don't
she
you-
follows her to see where she's been.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say,
Mhm.
Amanda?
Don't you think Penn would have gone with Eloise to the woman's? It kinda
No,
seems
because
like a
Penn was
thing.
against her meeting up with Theo. She was against her finding
Oh.
Whistledown, and she was
And-
against her being in that side of town.
I think had she not like been down there doing her Whistledown business,
She would.
I think yes, she
Oh,
would have done it with
yeah,
her.
that's true.
But Penn was desperately trying to keep Eloise away.
Yeah.
So Eloise chastised her every time she brought it up and told her how
Yeah.
dangerous it was. And she does it here, where she follows her down to see where she is, and she warns her about spending time there with Theo because it's dangerous, not only that side of town, but it's so dangerous to her reputation to be seen with a dude on your own, especially especially it's harder because he's lower class and Eloise is high class, and Eloise is a woman and he's a man. So it really was stupid of her to be doing what she was doing in the first place.
Yes.
Plus,
yeah.
the queen was obviously wants to find out who it is, and
You're making yourself look suspicious, Eloise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it at the end of last episode, at the end of episode 4, when the queen got all the pictures of the people who Edwina talked to?
Yes,
Mhm.
it was.
So, and the two that they hone in on is Eloise and Penn.
Mhm.
So the queen is already eyeing up those two. So,
Right. Yeah.
And the fact that because she sneaks out of the wedding, which is, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, you leave from the queen's place, the queen's house, you leave from her house to go see him. And Penn is frustrated. Penn's trying to tell her, you don't do this. You're being an idiot. You cannot do this. And so
Yeah.
Eloise sneaks away. And tells him that she thinks about him all the time and wants to know if he thinks about her. And then he brings up
That
those
was
books
cute.
to her.
That was really cute.
I
like
liked
that
that he did
scene.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you'd speak to my heart. It's bringing me a stack of books. And he was
Yeah.
like, every time I read these, I put these aside to what I thought you would want. But we see that one of the queen's guards has followed her
Yep.
down there.
Yep.
So dummy. And then Colin and Penn have a moment too, but it's kind of ruined. Like they're all
Yeah.
ruined. Every moment they had together, you think, even when he walked into that weird soiree that Lady Danbury had, and you thought, oh, they're gonna have a moment, and then he's like, you don't count. Like,
Colin's
"Colin,
so
you
dumb.
dummy."
So
And
dumb.
then when he's like meets her in the stairway and they're about to have a moment, he's like, yeah, if it wasn't for Whistledown, we could be different. I could be with her, basically. Like, so every time they have a moment, Colin is an idiot.
Mhm.
I just
Basically.
don't see. I can't understand the future right now.
Well, that's my issue because a lot of time needs to pass
Mhm.
in order for this future to work.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily. Not in Shondaland.
I know, but I feel like
In
it's gonna be
Julia
so
Quinn land,
rushed.
yes, but in Shondaland, not so much.
It's just gonna feel so rushed. I don't like it, but whatever.
But he tells her that Marina was right about caring for him and wanting the best for him.
That was
And-
sweet.
Yeah. Mhm.
You would think that would be an aha moment for Colin.
It looked like it was on his face.
It did. It
He's not
did.
very bright.
But Colin might be looking for her purpose, but Benedict is thriving right now with his. So I mean, there's that.
Yes, and that I really enjoyed seeing Benedict like in his element at art school. We didn't get to see a lot of it these 2 episodes. We saw a little bit.
Hmm.
That first class that he goes into and he, of course, there's the model sitting there, and I mean,
He
you
looked
can
very
tell he's
excited at first.
he's a little shocked and excited, and like, oh my gosh, that's really what we're doing. But I mean, then he's thriving, and then and he sees her later. We find out that she is also an artist, which I kind of liked that, but she's not allowed to, which is kind of genius that because the
Mhm.
women can't go there, so she models as a way to still learn from the classes. And she challenges
smart.
him to show how hard it is to be a model. First, he kind of makes a joke. He sits down, makes a pose, and then but she tells him that she really needs help with the male form, and he strips down. And I love, but that's so Benedict that he's just like,
Yeah.
okay, let's do it. Like not a thing.
Like I said, I can't wait for his season.
I
gonna
mean,
be
I'm so excited for it.
I think I'll probably be more disappointed with Benedict's season because I don't think that they could. I do not think they're going to do it justice. And I'm just scared because it's my favorite book.
See, yes.
And I'm so scared.
But look how much, I mean, it was Benedict, wasn't that your favorite book too, Jeanette?
Yes,
And look how much you loved Anthony's season.
it's
Even though his
true.
book wasn't your favorite.
Well, I mean, Viscount Who Loved Me is like really close. I mean, it was almost a tie between those two. Like
Benedict and
book,
Anthony's were probably my two favorite.
yeah. Luke
Jeanette likes the
Thompson,
pause button.
I really think he's going to kill Benedict's season. I mean, I really think it's going to be so good that he's going
Wait,
to absolutely kill it.
Oh, Luke Thompson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think he's going to do so good. He's
I
so
think
good with the
he's-
character already.
Exactly. He has made me love, like, even
Mm-hmm.
in Anthony, every scene he's in with Anthony, I know that not everyone feels this way, but I'm watching Benedict because he's
Mhm.
so
I go back
funny.
and forth, definitely. Yes.
He's so
Yes.
funny.
Yes.
I love
And
his
I
character.
think he's going to do sexy really well, guys.
Mhm.
I think when we get to that, he's going to do it really well. Maybe even better than Jonathan Bailey. We'll see. But I really think he might
Big
be able to pull it
words,
off.
big words.
We'll
Ooh.
see. I don't have
I
hope
don't
for
know.
Luke Newton yet, but that's okay.
I
haven't
think
seen
we
it.
will because I saw like when
I
Luke
hope
came
so.
in and he had like that kind of 5 o'clock
I
shadow
liked- yes,
looking
I
beard.
liked
I was like,
that.
okay.
And then he had to go
getting
back to being Colin, and I was like, man,
Colin.
I know. And then he shaved and I was like, okay.
he's just got a baby face. I don't feel it. So
I know. Well, I mean, Anthony, that's his new name. Anthony like doesn't he has a kind of a baby face too, but it's
Mhm.
more
Refined.
defined. Yeah, it's more
Streamlined.
Yeah.
defined.
Yeah.
Like his jaw, he has like that strong jawline. Just the,
All right. So let's dive into the big event. The wedding is finally here, even though I'm not excited about this wedding, but
I cannot believe they let it get this far.
me neither.
That blew my mind.
The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, surely, I mean, like this is almost over, right? Like we're not gonna get engaged. We're not gonna fall in love. We're not gonna actually have a wedding. And then it kept going and going. And I'm like, at this point, I was like, are they gonna get married? Because I feel like they're gonna get married.
That's what I thought. Because every time we hit a new milestone, I was like,
too.
okay, but after this, they're done. Okay, well
Yeah.
then after this, they're done. Every
I don't
time
know.
it just kept
I'm
moving
like-
further and further.
There's no way we're gonna have like an out the altar, like it's over kind of thing, because that would be
Yeah.
so dramatic.
I did
I
not
didn't think
think
that
it
at
was going
all.
to get there.
And that's what
Mm-mm.
happened.
I like the scene with Edwina and Mary and Kate where they're all, I don't know what they're spreading on each other, but they're spreading something on each other. It's
Mhm.
just a really sweet scene with all three of them together.
Mhm.
Really-
Mhm. It was.
Yeah.
They were doing Hindu
A Hindu
Um,
wedding ritual.
wedding rituals
Mhm.
for the day before. I don't know if you like noticed, like I think her hands were all hennaed
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
everything, which I love that they stayed true to the Indian culture
Yeah.
Mhm.
in this, which
Except for there was
I
a
love.
complaint that when they put it on Kate and they said, isn't it true that if you do this to the maid of honor or whatever, that they'll find love too? That's apparently not a real thing.
Oh,
Hmm. I didn't
That
know
was one of the complaints.
interesting.
that. Everybody's gonna have a complaint.
It was
Okay.
still cute.
I didn't notice it. I mean, but that's not my culture, so.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Having their nice little sweet moment, and then the guys are all just getting drunk.
Yeah. I loved it.
I loved it because isn't this where they toast to the sister?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
which I thought was kind of hilarious because they
Mhm.
unknowingly, because I don't think the boys have any idea what's going
No.
on really. And so they're
No,
just
of
like, to
course
the
they don't.
sister. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if we need a toast to the sister.
Mhm.
I mean, Kate offers her what are they? Emerald bracelets?
I think
believe
so.
The
emeralds.
bracelets. That was so
pretty.
sweet.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I loved that.
But Edwina
I was-
has to make sure Kate wears them.
Yeah, I was glad that she didn't end up wearing them, even though Kate was
Mhm.
trying to make her. Because I mean, that's her thing, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I did.
Because Edwina's mom is there, and Edwina's mom is with her and supporting her, and
Those bracelets, my goodness, they cause so much trouble. They
Mm.
also sort of saved the day, so it's kind of nice.
Mhm.
They stayed this entire season, so
Yeah, really, we got to give it up to the bracelets. They're like
MVP.
exactly.
I'll make an edit tomorrow with the bracelets.
You
This
should.
is MVP.
There you go. Right?
But also Daphne's talk with Anthony before.
Yes.
She knows. Daphne's
She knows.
smart.
She has known.
Well, I know she
She
has
knows.
known, but
She caught on quickly.
she's
Mhm.
really she does not want him to go through this with this wedding.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And I like how like she doesn't hold back in her conversations with him either. Like I mean,
Ever.
she just tells him, yeah, she never has.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, all through this season, every time she's confronting him about Kate, she's
Mhm.
like very direct, and she just wants him to be happy, and she knows what kind of happiness she has. And her husband was the one refusing to have complete happiness,
Yeah.
just like Anthony's refusing to have complete happiness, and she knows the effect of giving in and just allowing yourself to be happy.
The ceremony was just really awkward.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, your
Why? Because
future
Anthony
wife
was
is
looking
standing-
completely past his
Right?
bride.
standing right in front of him the whole time, and he's just
Was she? I don't think he noticed.
It was so obvious. Oh my gosh.
And it's only then that Edwina starts to be like, what is happening here? But she still doesn't like understand it's Kate.
It
Once they
wasn't-
touched
just
hands.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the bracelets dropped though, because he's like staring on just like Tiffany was doing it. I mean, it's just like, I mean, he's not looking anywhere near her. He's like looking, and Edwina's just so happy.
But there was a
like-
moment during the road where Edwina kind of like looked kind of behind her to see what he was looking at, but she didn't realize it was Kate
Yeah.
Mhm.
until the bracelets dropped, and he noticed instantly when they fell.
Yep.
Well, I mean, their hands lingered for far too long when he picked them up. Like to be in front of the altar, in front of the queen, in front of the minister, in front of your parents,
The
your
whole
the
church
whole world.
attendance.
and you are just sitting there holding her hands. Like,
Yeah.
Anthony, come on. Which I'm glad, because we want them together, but I mean, this man legit cannot control himself. He
Well,
can't.
To be fair, he told her he couldn't.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
It was Kate who
he's
pushed
the
him
one
to
that
do
pushed
it.
it.
I feel like Anthony has been completely honest with Kate, which
After he proposed to Edwina, yes, not
Yes.
prior.
yes.
Yeah.
It took proposing to her sister to be like, oh, by the way, I love you.
Well, he's a dummy. So what can we
Yeah.
say? He's
Right.
hot, but he's a dummy.
Once Edwina finally catches on to what's going on around her, she storms out of her own wedding.
You know,
Oh.
I get why the storm out, but part of me thinks you don't deserve to be angry since you are too stupid to notice it.
It's your own fault. My God.
I mean, really.
Well, I mean, everything that happens after this is just, I don't know. It's where I get mad, actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
the end
this
of
is the part
this.
where I really don't like Kate or Edwina.
Same.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you're really supposed to in the show,
I don't know.
but
I
Edwina just
definitely
flat out asks her, "Do you love him?"
Yes. And she doesn't answer.
She doesn't deny it. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Which is pretty much a confession.
Yes.
Mhm.
I felt really bad that Mary was mad at Kate, though.
I
That
did
made
too.
me really upset.
Mhm.
It was because it was she's always
Because-
talking about how much Kate is her daughter
Mhm.
as Edwina is her daughter, but she
Yeah.
chose Edwina's side
Mhm.
real
Yeah.
fast.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, it's not like, I mean, you should know Kate well enough. It's not like she was out to steal her man. This isn't like
exactly.
what's going on here. I mean, imagine, like, look at it from Kate's perspective. She's willing to sacrifice true love and happiness
Yep.
for her sister.
And on top of that, Kate told her over and over and over again before this, do not marry him.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like she hid that she didn't want you to marry him. And then you
Right.
went through that anyway, and then you're mad that she's letting you marry him. Like,
I
Mhm.
know. It made me so angry.
yeah, I honestly didn't think that she had a right to be mad. I really didn't. Certainly not the way she did. Like, she acted like all this was a scam. Like, how is this a scam to get you? She's making herself miserable so you can be happy, and you feel like it's a
Mhm.
scam against you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand maybe you feel stupid in front of everyone, and I can get the
yeah, she
embarrassment.
should.
I get that part. But just the way she talked to Kate, it just really, I mean, I was angry watching
Yeah.
these episodes.
She was awful
Yeah.
Mhm.
to her.
Yeah,
It
Awful.
really was. It broke my heart.
Mhm.
And really, I mean, she said, has this been your plan from the beginning? Have you always been like this? I am my own woman. Are you though? Are you your own
Exactly.
woman? Because you made absolutely certain that every decision you made came from someone else. And you
Mhm.
never once asked for something different. You in fact encouraged it to keep happening.
Yeah.
And while she was out there busting her butt to save you and to keep you afloat and to keep you after your father died and you were running out of money, it was Kate who saved both Mary and Edwina. Neither
Yeah.
one of them complained the whole time. But now that she is sacrificing a love so her sister could be happy and be with him, now you have a problem with how she's been acting all these years to save you?
Yeah.
It was just awful. Awful.
Yeah, I got really angry.
I do like that. And it felt so bad for when she was in that closet. And then she threw her mom's bracelets.
I
Oh,
know.
Frustration. Like, that made me sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did. That
The
broke my
reason-
heart. I
The
hate
reason
to
she
see
made
her
it
so
into the
sad.
closet is because Anthony was going up the stairs.
All the Bridgertons they're all discussing what's going on. Like
Yeah.
only Daphne knows. And I love it because Violet's like, you know something.
Mhm.
I need to know what it is. And of course, Benedict's like, wait, what? Like, I want to know. But I just love all of their interaction. I mean, even before that moment when it was like, he needs a drink. He needs this, maybe I don't know, like even the kids are chiming in with like little
Yep.
funny commentary. I
Mhm.
love them.
And then we forgot to point out too that when Violet sees Lady Danbury at the wedding,
Yeah.
she says some snarky things to her too.
She
About
does.
maybe if I would have known, or maybe if you were a friend. I don't remember what she said, but something, what she was alluding to was, if you were a real friend, you would have told me information. I would have been blindsided about it and then stormed away from her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Violet's mad.
And then to have this happen on top of it, like, it's just, and Lady Danbury knew about this too. It's
Yep.
just like,
Granted, Violet, you kind of knew about this. I don't care what you
Mhm.
say. I mean, you may not known, but you knew something was up.
100% she knew.
Yeah.
She didn't want to believe it because Anthony was going through with this and she liked
Mhm.
Edwina, but she knew.
Yeah.
Denying it doesn't make you not know.
What do you guys think about the Queen and Lady D's talk though?
I felt bad for Lady D.
I did too. Like, my heart was like, I was like, I don't like how you're speaking to her.
Yeah.
Even though she's the queen, she can speak to whoever how she
Mhm.
wants, I guess.
Yeah.
But she even like accused Lady Danbury that it was her fault for leaving her a diamond. Nuh-uh, because you told Lady Danbury, yes, Lady Danbury encouraged her, but you told her that the reason you chose her as your diamond is because she was brand spanking new to the community, and she was easy for you to mold and easy for you to trust and get answers out of. That was
Yep.
why you chose
Yeah.
her to be your diamond. But now that doesn't work. You can't punish Lady Danbury because it didn't work for you.
Right.
I mean, she can because she's a queen, but it's
She can do whatever she wants, but yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, well, the queen's not giving up.
Mm-mm.
She
She's
did
like-
not. She keep everybody here.
She said, don't let them leave.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, she thinks this is still happening, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Because she doesn't fully understand the reason yet.
Yeah.
So Edwina and Anthony's talk. I like that. I
was
like that he
proud
was
of her.
truthful
yeah.
with her when she asked, "Do you love me?"
Yes.
He was truthful with her.
What he said,
Mhm.
I understand you, or like something like that. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know. I was also proud of her for flat out asking too, though.
Yeah.
Like, like I wasn't happy how she talked to Kate, but I was totally okay with how she talked to Anthony.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because-
I mean,
The thing is that Anthony never told her he loved her. He never
Nope.
alluded that he loved her. And he was very clear about what he wanted in a marriage.
Yeah.
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 And Kate told her exactly what he said about what he wanted in a marriage.
mhm.
And even when she asked this here, I mean, he sticks to it. That's still just what he wants.
Yeah.
And then Kate, poor thing,
Kate.
she tries to come out of the closet and sees Anthony and runs right back into the closet. But he follows her, which I'm like, oh my, after all this that just happened, just like she said, like, you can't just come in this like closed off room with me and shut the door. Like somebody's gonna
Mhm.
like I mean, he's
now they're worried about how it's gonna look, and now they're worried about who's gonna
I
find
know.
the months and weeks of
Well, now
meeting
people are
together
looking.
clandestinely.
Yeah,
Weren't we just saying this earlier?
I know.
Like they're all in public kissing, or not kissing. They're all in public touching
Almost
and
kissing.
almost
Right.
kissing and
Yes.
having some major heat. Nothing. Hide in a
Breathing
closet
really
where nobody
heavily.
sees you. Problem.
Right. I know.
I like it. Just get out of my closet. Your closet.
Oh, but here he's like, he's still trying to get her to help him
Yeah.
get Edwina to marry him. Buddy, like that's done. It's done.
That was so I got mad at him a little bit during this closet scene
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you can definitely tell she's in distress.
Mhm.
Mhm.
She's upset. She's hiding in a freaking closet.
Yeah.
And yet he goes in there and continues to talk to her about Edwina.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing she wants to talk about right now.
And he has to know that the reason she's in the closet and not with Edwina is because there was some sort of argument or falling out.
Yeah.
Why else would she
She's
be
not
sitting in there?
stupid.
Yeah, she's not gonna help him.
No, rightfully
over
so.
it,
Because
man.
now, well, the other thing too is that now she knows that this match won't make her sister happy anymore. So even though her sister was awful to her, absolutely awful to her, she won't help partly because she loves Anthony, but also partly because she knows this will no longer make her sister happy. So there's no way she's
Right.
going to push for it because she only wants to make her sister happy, no matter how her sister feels about her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Edwina doesn't deserve Kate.
No.
No.
Just gonna say it.
Book
Definitely
Edwina,
not.
yes.
Mhm.
Show Edwina, no.
No.
I do love the talk with Violet and Lady D though.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say,
Me
every
too.
time we say Lady D, I think of
Like denim.
Sanditon.
yes, Lady
Me
D.
too. I just had to shorten it here, but yeah.
know.
Like
But
as
I kept
was
trying to
writing-
call her Lady D last week when we were
Yeah.
recording this. I had
Yeah.
to be like, nope, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
But just now I couldn't remember Denham's name, but it makes me think of her.
Yeah.
But I did like Violet and Lady D's conversation about the Queen and how they don't know what to do and how it ended with them cackling at the window.
I loved that. I mean,
The
poor-
peacocks.
Yes. When
I'm
she
sorry,
was
the whole
like-
peacock thing, by the way, we have not mentioned the peacocks.
Yeah.
Can we mention the freaking peacocks? Because it was hilarious. That she
Well, the
was-
Queen,
the
when she asked
Queen
if they could fly, and he's like,
fly.
we can push them off a high surface and watch them fly. And she's like, only if we can do that to you afterwards, like, or something.
Only if
like
you'll
that.
follow.
Yeah. So funny.
Sorry, Jeanette, go ahead. I had to mention the peacocks.
No, you're fine. I was just laughing at I like when Lady Danbury when she was like, I don't know what to do, and basically like that's where she starts laughing because she's like she never
knows
has a
what to do.
plan,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
like and here she's like cracking up because she's like I don't know what to do here. The Queen is mad, and I don't know how to fix it. And all you can do is laugh at this point, you know,
Mhm.
like
Stress laugh.
mhm,
You just laugh because
Exactly.
you don't know what else to do anymore.
exactly.
And seeing her distress is what instantly made them up.
I was glad to see them kind of make up there.
Mhm.
I was too. I did not like them fighting. That made
No,
me
it felt
No.
weird.
so uncomfortable. I was like,
Definitely
ew, no, I don't like this. Don't do that. Let's not
Yeah.
do this.
agreed.
The one scene I did love Edwina in was after the king came into the room. I'm
Yes.
confused.
I did too.
Because that's when the Queen is talking to her about love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I mean, I think that scene right there is what makes the Queen like soften up about this whole thing because
Mhm.
she realizes that, you know, like everyone deserves to have the love that she had with the king, and she's not going to force Edwina to like marry him when she doesn't love him and he doesn't love her. So,
Mhm.
because I think before that, the Queen might have made him get married. Like,
Yeah, she absolutely would have, because
Oh,
she
yeah.
would have been
I
wrong
mean-
if she didn't. And she
Yeah.
does not
Yep.
want to be wrong.
So the king walked in at the perfect time.
exactly.
And it was really nice to see that. But I mean, right before that, what we see is Kate admitting her feelings to Edwina, but saying they
Mhm.
don't measure up to my love for you. And that's when Edwina calls her a half sister.
That
Oh.
moment,
So it's like from that to seeing soft Edwina, like, no.
I was so I think I paused it like the first time I watched it. It was like she did not just call her a half sister.
Yeah, my mouth was
How
hanging open. I was like,
freaking cruel.
I think I said
No.
out loud, Book Edwina would never.
No.
She would never speak to her like that.
no.
For everything. Never mind the fact that Kate has done nothing but love Edwina. Nothing but care for her.
Yes.
Never mind that. But the fact that Kate is willing to not just give up everything that she loves and wants so that her sister could have it all, she's also taking herself out of the country. So it's not even like she's going to stay around in India or stay around in England and be a stumbling block. She was going to remove herself from the picture completely so she wouldn't be a stumbling block for her.
Yes.
And then Edwina still has the guts to call her half sister. Like, she's so destitute. She's so unworthy. It's just,
Yep.
But then you see that side with her and the king. It's like, so which one are you? Are you a nasty, terrible person? Or are you a kind, compassionate one? Because right now I'm really, I can't reconcile those two sides of you.
I know.
I don't know.
I think she's a kind, compassionate person until you upset her, and then she turns into a petty, you know what?
I think the king just kind of opens her eyes sometimes. I feel like they're not that close anymore. And the queen and the king.
Oh, yeah.
They're not that close anymore. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, because every time he's awake, he accuses her of murdering his children.
He's always the way that we see her soften.
Yep.
As soon as he shows up, she turns into a different person.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. And I like seeing that side of her. I like her strong
Yeah.
side. I like, that's my favorite side, is her strong side when she's
I don't like
really
her
when she's being
mean
funny.
side. Yeah.
I love the funny queen.
Yeah.
But she's never like haha funny, but the things that she'll
kind of.
Yeah.
It's like the things she'll just sometimes do and say, you're like, what, ma'am?
Yeah.
So speaking of the queen, also the footman followed Eloise out and told the queen.
Nope.
We'll be talking a lot more about that next episode.
Just remember that the footman told the queen.
The footman told the queen. Don't forget that. And then we kind of see Anthony and Kate get notes, both from Edwina. They show up there without Edwina. I was like, was she like parent trapping them? Like, what's she doing here?
That's what I was confused about, because they both thought that the notes came from the other person, which if you notice, they both hopped up so fast to run and meet who they thought were each other.
Yeah.
After they got those notes. I mean, they were quick about it.
But they were standing far apart, and I'm glad about that. I was afraid they were going to be like in an intimate situation, and then Edwina was going to walk in and just rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of this whole scene?
Edwina telling them there's going to be a wedding, or what comes after that?
Yeah. Well, I'll get to what comes
like
after
the
that,
ending
okay?
I was happy that she well, mostly because I want her out of the way, but too, like, I was cool with her being like, I'm gonna choose this, like, for myself. I'm gonna find my own happiness. I was okay with that.
As long as she doesn't, I don't mind that either. As long as she's not blaming Kate for all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because Kate told you not to marry him.
Yep.
Kate fought you on it, and then she gave it up because he wanted it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So don't blame Kate for this. As long as you don't blame Kate, I'm fine. If you don't want to, in fact, I prefer you to choose not to.
Yeah. Please go away.
Then she just, after the conversation, she just leaves them two alone.
Yes. And
why do people keep doing that to them?
I mean, like, they stayed.
Like, oh man.
And then they stayed there forever, which it was sweet for Kate to explain why, because she was saying, like, once we walk out of here, this is over, and there's no reason for us to like be around each other anymore. We probably think it's going to be completely inappropriate. We can't start a relationship, like. So we were just like hanging on to that moment, but then the moment happened.
The goodbye kiss
to him. She
Yes.
literally runs to him.
It was so
I love that
perfect.
Then we only have 2 more episodes left, and that's when we finally get the kiss that we've been taunted about all season.
Yep.
It was so worth it though.
It was a good kiss.
Even watching it over tonight, it was like just as good
Yes.
as the first time.
Agreed.
I loved it.
Yeah. Me too.
And that's where the curtain closes on these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So next week we are diving into the aftermath of that aftermath. And
wait for those.
Marina's undecided if she's going to be on the podcast or not.
You are.
Yeah.
Marina's unsure.
Yeah.
Well, next week you'll see a recap of episodes 7 and 8. And those are the last 2 of the Bridgerton season this year. So I don't know what's going to be coming up next for you. We are pre-recording some of these, and we don't know if we're going to be taking a break. or not. So just keep watching and we'll let you know when we keep producing stuff. If you want to join us in our Bridgerton fan club on Facebook, it's Bridgerton Family Fan Club. Honestly, we really like your feedback. We got to know if we're doing something right or if we're doing something wrong. We would really like to know what you want to hear from us and what you want to see, how we can make this better. So feedback is good. Don't be afraid to give us feedback on any of our platforms. We'd love to hear from you. And that, we'll see you in a week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
For our listeners craving more, you can search for all 16 of our groups on Facebook by searching Family Fan Club. Come on over and join the conversation. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok under Fandom Family Chats. We try to always make sure to have something that will entertain. Of course, we'd also love your feedback, the good and any bad. And you can provide that by emailing us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. Keep an eye out for our website coming soon, where you'll be able to buy FFC merch and merch about some of your favorite TV shows with some favorite sayings and images. We're also working toward hosting a Comic-Con style event in 2024, where some of your favorite fandoms, cast, crew, and fans alike will come together for a fun-filled weekend. You can find those announcements on our website coming at you soon. Keep watching and listening, and as always, don't forget to share and subscribe.